Going until after the noon hour, and it's really late afternoon into the early evening, right around the time of the after school rush and then the evening after work rush that we'll be dealing with the worst of this system. We're starting off with just a lot of cloud cover in Center City, Philadelphia right now. It's going to be a cloudy day and the winds are really going to start to pick up as well. But if you're out and about, you're heading out on the roads shortly here, I don't think you're dealing with much in the way of wet weather. But let's take you through the timing of this because, again, it is going to go downhill quickly as the day goes on. So a next weather alert for rain and the potential for severe storms. That's later on this afternoon. So here's what to expect. Heavy rain and the potential for damaging winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado or even just a tornado warning that may not result in a tornado, but you do want to have your safe space ready if you get a tornado warning for your area. I think this is most likely. If it does happen, Delaware, maybe extreme South Jersey, may not happen at all, but it's something to really keep an ear out for and just be ready to go in case you get that tornado warning. Impacts for us: localized flooding, ponding, road spray, possible power outages. Winds could gust over 50 miles an hour. And here's the timing. Between 1 and 2 p.m. this will start off to the west. I think 3 to 5 is the timing for the city, and then 5 to 7 the worst of the storms in our westernmost or easternmost suburbs, I should say, South Jersey, and eventually down the shore, moving offshore by about 8 o'clock tonight. So first batch is just some showers, and most of this will lift north of us. This is the front that we're watching for later on today and into this evening. This is all going to be lifting to the north and east all day long. So basically everything just goes downhill rapidly today. Spotty showers here and there this morning, but there's that line, and you can see as the day goes on, as the atmosphere destabilizes, as we get into the warmest part of the day, storms really start to fire up along that squall line. And you can kind of see the bowing shape here. When you see these little line segments where they bow out like that, indication of potential damaging wind gusts. You could also get one of these cells to start rotating, and that could prompt that tornado warning, again, especially off to the south. By 6, 7 o'clock, this is already starting to move off the coast, and then we'll be dealing with wicked winds behind the system as well as with this storm. We'll talk more about that wind threat and just how much of that much needed rain this system is going to bring us. That's all coming up. Let's send it over to Kim for a check on your traffic. Good morning, Kim. I'm going to go downhill pretty quickly as the day goes on. So if you got to get out and do some errands, if you can be inside between about, let's say, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., I would highly recommend it. Until then, we just have clouds and maybe a couple of spotty showers moving through, but not much happening out there right now. You'll notice when you walk outside this morning that you do not need the heavy coat. It is mild outside. Temperatures have jumped 10 to 20 degrees from where we were yesterday, which if you were with us yesterday, you'll remember yesterday was 10 to 15 degrees warmer than Monday. So this storm bringing a lot of warmth with it, a lot of moisture out ahead of it. And we know storms like to feed off of warmth and moisture, so that's what will be fueling these thunderstorms later on today. It's currently 54 degrees in Philadelphia, 54, and that's at 6:16 in the morning. We're usually hitting our morning lows at this time, but we are going to be feeling that warmth all day long. Here is the first batch of rain that we'll be watching. Now, a lot of this is going to miss us to the north, but you can see some heavy downpours over portions of northwestern PA. This will be lifting through during the morning hours. Maybe around noon we could see a couple of showers, but it's back to the south and west. This line of storms right here moving into portions of North Carolina, West Virginia, down into South Carolina and Western Virginia. That's what we'll be watching later today. And as we warm up, as we get the heating of the day, late afternoon, the most unstable part of the day. So when you get that atmospheric instability, you get that warmth, you are going to run the risk for severe weather. So here is the current outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. They put an outlook out every day as far as severe weather is concerned. Where you see the yellow, that's a level 2 out of 5. That's a slight risk. So that's basically Delaware County, Chester County, Berks County, right on south into Salem, Cumberland, and all of Delaware. The rest of us are in a level 1 marginal risk. So this is not the most impressive severe threat we've ever seen, but it is kind of our first spring-like storm system, our first severe risk in quite some time. There is also a slightly enhanced tornado risk. It's nothing like what the tornado risk was yesterday across the south, but you can see where the green is. That's a 2% tornado risk. Further south, where the brown color is, from Richmond on down toward Norfolk and into the Carolinas, that's a 5% tornado risk. That is higher than what we like to see. So that's something we'll be watching, especially south of the city, for any storm embedded within this line to develop some rotation and possibly spawn a tornado or tornado warning. So here's the timing on this. 2 o'clock, we get this line of storms firing up to the west. Reading, Lancaster seeing some pretty heavy downpours by 2 o'clock. In Philadelphia, in Delaware County, Newcastle County, Delaware, up into the Lehigh Valley, Allentown, you are going to be seeing some of the heaviest rain and storms right around 3:30, right around school pickup time, right around the time that the buses are out dropping the kids off. And then by 4 or 5 o'clock, height of the evening rush, or at least the start of it, that's where we start to see those strong storms around the city. And you can see embedded within this line, any particular cell like this one down near Dover, if that starts to exhibit a little bit of rotation, would not be shocked to see a tornado warning pop up. So again, stay with us throughout the day. We will have hourly updates on this system as it comes through, and then of course complete coverage in our newscasts here later on this afternoon and evening. It gets out of here pretty quickly, but we're talking some pretty steady rainfall here. We need the rain. We don't need it too quickly though. Every once in a while you can get some runoff flooding, some poor drainage flooding. We're looking at a good soaking though, upwards of an inch likely for most of the area. And take a look at these winds. As the front comes through 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we could see some gusts in the 40, 45, even 50 plus mile per hour range. That front clears, and then tomorrow we'll see a little bit of sun breakout, but tomorrow afternoon, once again, very blustery with winds gusting to about 30 miles per hour. And it's going to stay windy through the end of the week as well. So even though it does quiet down and it's seasonable, it is still very windy through Friday. Sunday, we set those clocks forward and the temperatures are going to start to rise as well. We could be nearing 70 by next Tuesday. Kim, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you so much, Kate.